One of the age-old questions in practical shooting is where the heck did the time go? How is that other shooter beating me? Where is he or she gaining time on me? Or conversely, where am I losing time? Now you can get a lot of information about the practical shooting equation, time versus points, off your score sheet. You can certainly get points. In practice score, you can even see which target you got points or deltas and so forth. But there's always been one number for time, and that's your stage time. Now in drills, you can look at timers, and they'll tell you first shot, second shot, and that's darn useful. But it's not persistent. It won't last when you get home. It won't last even to the next time you run the drill when you're at the range. With Shot Coach and the time marking part of it, you can allocate time, all time. You can account for all time in a stage. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Here we have Kimber, relatively new practical shooter, who is attending one of our Thursday night drills. And I'm going to mark time on her drill, show you how easy it is and how quick it is. So I just click it and choose Mark Shots. Now, new to the interface, this view of the interface, we have the scrubber and all the standard things, but there's a red markings in here that indicate noise. So if we go and look for a shot, I'll look at the video, there's a shot, the gun's firing. Right there, it counts to it maps to the beginning of a shot. So you could go through and mark shots individually, no problem. Go through the next one, mark a shot. But we've built in an automatic shot finder, and I'm going to use that to mark the shots. So there's a couple algorithms here. These little bar chart indicate an algorithm. I'm going to use the default algorithm. Which one to use, it really just depends on the video and the background noise and wind noise and other things like that. They both work well. Some work better under certain acoustic conditions. There's a sensitivity indicator, this red line, which is controlled here. Notice how I'm moving it up and down. So once you're happy with that, we can set the splits. So this blue bar that's moving is really the shortest split that's reasonable with this shooter. Like for myself, it's not really reasonable for me to shoot faster than 0.1. You know, I can maybe crank off a 0.08, but it isn't going to be well aimed. For other shooters, it might even be a third of a second. But typically 0.5 or 0.05 or 0.07 is a good number that will eliminate most echoes. Anyway, that's what we're doing there. So then I just clear the shots I placed, select the shot interface, and say Mark Shots. And I notice that it's a little bit offset here. So I'm going to touch that shot, get rid of it, and then add another one at what I see visibly as the beginning of the shot. Now here I see that there's an echo. They didn't shoot that fast. So what I do is do my minimum split to be a little bit bigger than that, and then I remark the shots. Notice how I got rid of it. Still didn't find this shot here. It started late. So what I need to do there is adjust my sensitivity down to just below the start of that shot, clear them, mark them, and it still doesn't like it. Okay, no problem. I'll just get rid of it, mark it myself. Okay, so now I've got the shots marked. Pretty happy with where they are. I'll convert them to time markers now. Time markers are how we account for time. And a time marker always indicates what's happening right now. I'm moving, I'm shooting a split, I'm shooting a transition, I'm clearing a jam, I am drawing, all the various things that you do in practical shooting. So now that I've marked by default all the shots to splits, I'm going to go in and clean up what really is happening here. First thing I need to do is go find my stage beginning. And that is actually right here. So I'm going to touch this Insert Time Marker button, and I can call it the draw or stage start. I'll call it draw. Then I'll also add in a stage start. So now the draw happens, and I see the first shot happens there. Then it turns it to a split after that. Her draw was 210. Not bad to a hard target for a newer shooter. We can probably get that down quite a bit, though, with a little bit of work. Now, is she in a split or no? Actually, she's in a movement. So I need to turn this marker, which is called split 2, touch it, and choose it and move it to movement. So now it's movement 1. She's going to move for 1.7 seconds till 76 seconds till the next shot. One of her good strengths for a relatively new shooter is that she's quite adept at movement. That's going to help her out even when she's still learning the more detailed shooting techniques. Now here we are in a split. I agree that's a split. Now the next one is actually a transition. I'm going to change that one to transition. Okay, then our next one is a split, and then the one after that is a transition. Split, and then transition. It generally goes like that they're alternating, but not always. It depends on the stage. Then we got a split, and then we have stage end. Okay, so I've marked all my time. Now I can scroll to anywhere and see that, for instance, this transition was 0.58, her split after that was 0.28, or I can click on my marker button and look at them all. The total time was 9.03. Her average transition was 0.58. Her longest was 174. Her average split was 0.69. Her lowest was 2.8. Her longest was 3.43. And I'm going to go look at that one and see what was going up with that. Or, I'm sorry, the total time she spent on shooting splits was 3.43. Her high was 2.2. And I'm going to go look at that one. I just click on it. It goes right there. Oh, I see. I didn't mark it right. So what really needs to happen here is I didn't add in a stage marker, a stage begin marker. So I will touch that and call that actually stage start. In fact, I will actually put stage start in right here. Then I will delete this marker. Okay, so now we have an accurate time. So looking at the analysis there, the stage start is actually her draw, which is 2-1-10. Then we go down and look at, we were trying to look at her longest split, which is 0.34 now. So that's all pretty good. They're all kind of close together. We can get that faster for sure. And what we're really looking at is why are her transitions so slow relative to her splits, especially on targets that are close together. Okay, now we've got these marked. I can see everything. Now if I go back to coaching mode, they're there too. So as I'm working with the shooter or making a video, I can notice how they're showing up here. All the data is there. So we can go and talk about what's happening time-wise and analyze it. This summary will also show up in videos that we generate. So when you generate a video and post it to YouTube, it will have at the end how your time went on the stage. So that is marking time with Shot Coach. I hope you find it useful. I know my students have, and I know I have found it useful as a shooter. And if you have any questions or suggestions, just email us, support@niftybytes.com, and I will see you on the range.